This is an overview of topic 4 on Jesus Christ, God-centered missions. So the topic 4 objectives are to describe the person, life, and ministry of Jesus Christ, to examine the significance of the claims Jesus made about his nature and the kingdom purposes of his ministry, and to analyze Jesus' teachings and the significance of his teaching for the foundations of the Christian worldview. For an introduction to topic 4, it is the third act of the biblical story, and is God restoring his people through Jesus Christ. God, in his love for humanity, sent his only and beloved Son to earth to live sinlessly and die on a cross for the sins of humanity. The prophets foretold of the coming Messiah, of which Jesus Christ is the fulfillment of those Old Testament prophecies. So how do we know Jesus? Well, we know Jesus from the Gospels. The genealogy of Jesus, the announcement of Jesus' birth to the shepherds, and his birth are all accounts in the Gospels of Matthew and Luke. The synoptic Gospels, known as Matthew, Mark, and Luke, provide accounts of Jesus' life and ministry. The Gospel of John was written some years later by the Apostle John, who also wrote 1 John, 2 John, 3 John, and Revelation. The Gospels offer the accounts of Jesus' ministry, his crucifixion, the resurrection, and his ascension. It is important to understand that in the Christian teachings in the Bible, Jesus Christ, the Son of God, is God incarnate. We read this in John chapter 1, verses 1 to 4 and 14. It reads, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we have seen his glory, glory as the only Son from the Father, full of grace and truth." That's John 1, 1 to 4 and 14. The Bible gives several references to the deity of Jesus Christ. We see this in the Gospel of John, in John 5, 19 to 26, John 8, 56 to 69, John 17, 5, and John 20, 28 and 29. The Old Testament prophets give reference to it, and just one reference I'll give is Isaiah 9, 6. The Gospel of Matthew in Matthew 1:23 also gives reference to it, as well as the Apostle Paul. You can see this in Colossians 1, 16 to 17. The Bible makes mention of God as Trinity, as Trinitarian. It doesn't mention the Trinity, but it implies three persons. The first person being the Father, the second person being the Son, and then the Holy Spirit. And we see the mention of the Holy Spirit by Jesus in John 14. And we read, if you love me, keep my commandments, and I will ask the Father, and he will give you another advocate to help you and be with you forever, the Spirit of truth. The world cannot accept him, because it neither sees him nor knows him, but you know him, for he lives with you and will be with you. John 14, verses 15 to 17. So why did God become man? The Incarnation, Atonement, and Resurrection. These are important terms to understand for topic 4. The Incarnation is the act of God becoming man and dwelling among us in the miraculous birth of Jesus. The atonement is a reconciliation of humanity with God through the sufferings and sacrificial death of Christ. And the resurrection is the miracle of Jesus Christ being raised again and conquering death. So to conclude topic 4, the third act of the biblical story is central to the Christian worldview. In this fourth topic of Jesus Christ, we see that God is triune. There's one God in three persons. We see that Jesus is fully God and fully human. We also see that Jesus came to earth as God incarnate to live a sinless life, die for our sin, and be risen from the dead.